Hey, we are live. This is Jeff Lichtenstein with Echo Fine Properties. We have 3 open houses today, and then we have 4 local businesses that we're going to be highlighting this afternoon. We're going to be at some different restaurants with El Fagacito. We're going to talk to Adam Gumpson, who's a lawyer who owns Jupiter Law Center, is going to be talking about how he's working right now and remotely, and a lot of what he's doing is getting wills signed remotely, and all sorts of other interesting types of cases, even where couples have been separated for a long time and doing divorces and all sorts of things. It'll be kind of interesting to see how that's going in the world right now. We've got El Fagacito, which is a Mexican restaurant at 2 o'clock. Scott Meyer, which is a major orthodontist in our area who's in Jupiter. He's going to be on at 5. And Rob, who do we have at 3 o'clock?
So we have a fill-in today because we had a cancellation. We have, hold on, let me pull it up really quick because I don't want to butcher the name. It's Renew Clean Pressure Cleaning. Renew Clean Pressure Cleaning. So
we're doing, this week we've got 4 local business interviews, set up, and we're going to tell you what each one is doing, and it'll be really interesting stories. Our area is always about locals. So we're going to first though start, we're going to go to Adam Bendeson, Bowtie Bendeson. He's got a home. He's showing out in North Palm Beach, which is a real good buy. Victoria Lorusso, we're going to talk to. She's out in Belen Isle today, and we're going to profile her whole career. She's been doing this a long time, originally, from Connecticut, and grew up in the industry. And I'm going to bring you out over to Jupiter at Trump National, the largest home and lots out there on the market. So we're going to show you that. So let's start with Adam. And Adam, tell us where you're at and how you picked your bow tie, more importantly, today.
I just thought the bow tie, I figured the stripes would work. Today was a stripy day.
It is a stripy day.
Today was a stripy day. I figured people are going out. Today we're opening up more of Florida. So just in case I decided to venture out, I needed to stand out a little.
It's very USA too.
There you go. So today I am in Royal Harbor, which is a community right on the Intracoastal. It's actually the unit that I'm going to discuss with you is actually within walking distance of the harbor, and all of its amenities are tennis courts, there's a dock, are all right on the Intracoastal itself. If you can see, I'm going to give you the aerial of the community, which shows you it's on one of the canals. You can see all the canals on the Intracoastal right there. Dead center is the community pool. And as you could see in the far section is walking distance to the Intracoastal itself. The unit itself, flip it, is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is the entryway to the unit. So once you arrive, you have your own little parking area right there. The door is on the left behind the beautiful shrubbery. And then when you go in the front door, the first room, I'm going to move out of your way. The first room you see is a brand new tiled living room. Goes right out to the outdoor patio and to the green space. It is redone from top to bottom. So you can, at least on this floor, you can see the beautiful tiles that are there, the beautiful view. Now flipping it around a little bit, you'll see that it is attached to a beautiful kitchen. And inside of that kitchen is, you could see the eating bar, which comes out, and then you can see the kitchen itself. Granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, in-unit washer dryer right there, a full black backsplash that goes up to the white shaker cabinetry with the matching stainless steel handles on them. It's a beautiful way to exist when you can just attach yourself to the main living areas. And as you can see, the tile goes all the way through the kitchen, the living room, and the entryway. Now, as I was saying, this unit has 3 bedrooms. Once you go upstairs, you can begin to see, this is your master suite. So your master suite has brand new carpeting in it, neutral colors on the wall, but more importantly, it has a little private balcony, which is covered and goes outside of the unit to its green space. So you have this right off of the master, and right below that, I'll show you in a little while, is the rear view, which gives you entree out directly from the unit. Okay, so this is the master. The ensuite, which was also redone, is also in white, beautiful neutral colors, dual vanity, mirrors, separate room for the toilet, the tub. The tiling in there is like an off-white coloring, so that's beautifully done as well. You can see the closets in there, and actually in the bedroom, there's an entire wall of closets. Being this close to the intracoastal, having a 3-bedroom unit, you can't beat this life. It's almost as if you're on the ocean without the ocean, because you have that intracoastal feel, you have the intracoastal view, things of that nature. I'll show you one of the guest bedrooms, beautiful size, has some upper windows, so that way you get some privacy in that section, but you get a lot of light in there. Same new carpeting within. Now they redid this bathroom of the guest baths. I'm just trying to get you to the guest bath. There you go. So you can see that they've redone the guest bath also in white, full sink, countertop, all one, beautiful subway tile border around the shower there. They've taken some time to do their touches to it. You could see the natural stone tile at the bottom. All very, very nicely done.
Yeah, it's all modern and contemporary, and what everybody's looking for today.
Mm-hmm. Now, when I was discussing with you the rear view, this is outside. This is the lower level patio with the terrace above it. So it is completely with an overhang. You can grill out there. You can put your furniture out there. The best part about Florida is indoor outdoor living. This takes advantage of indoor outdoor living. I could see having a nightcap off the terrace on the master bath just before it's time to go and relax. You wanted to have it downstairs, entertain a little bit. When you're allowed to entertain, you can do that as well downstairs. Now, if you go upstairs and you look, this is the greenscape that it overlooks.
It's really beautiful. And that's a southern exposure too. So you're getting great lights, all day there.
And even though you can see the other buildings in the background there, there is enough green space that you have some sense of privacy, as well as taking advantage of the lush landscape that the community has put in. Now we're going to go on. This is if we were coming out to the green space, as this is coming off of that back deck, the back patio, right onto the green space. Some of the amenities here, if you just walked around, this is the community pool. Now, the nice thing about the community pool is that it's centrally located throughout the entire development. This is all maintained by the community, all the grounds and the lush landscaping maintained by the community, and their HOA fees are fairly reasonable for, I believe it's around $400 a month for the HOA fees, and they cover everything in there to make sure that you have a carefree lifestyle when you walk outside of your building or your unit in the building. The other thing about the amenities is there's a tennis court, there's a basketball court, and there's this lovely little dock that if you wanted to go out and you're a fisherman, or you wanted to just sit and take a look at the boats going in and out and up and down the intracoastal, you could see it. Actually, off in the distance there, you can see the homes across the water there have beautiful, beautiful yachts, boats, and they're constantly going up and down the intracoastal. So it's a great place to put a chair if you just want to do a little bit of people watching, playing tennis. As I said, if you have your grandchildren or your children and they wanted to shoot around some hoops or anything, they could do that as well. North Palm Beach is central to everything. It has some terrific restaurants close to the water, minutes away if you wanted to drive over to a beachy area. As I said, the intracoastal, beautiful golf. There's a public golf course right there if you wanted to do that.
That's
So
that's been completely redone too, right? You know, that's Nicholas's. You know, Nicholas did that for $1, and then they redid the whole course, and it's open to the public. So it's a really nice, you know, course that's right, you know, right next door.
they actually just finished the renovation recently. They've actually redone a lot of that area, even in the restaurants there. We were just talking about one of the restaurants over right in that area called Cucina Cabana, which is one of the magnificently decorated high-end restaurants, which is in walking distance from where you are if you wanted to.
Right.
Living in North Palm Beach, listen, if you want to come down just as a snowbird, or you want to reside there, or you want to make it a family destination for vacations and things like that, this is a terrific way to live. It really is. You get the best of many worlds, and you can walk in, and since it's already been redone and redone with a modern flair, it's exactly what people are looking for.
And Adam, how much is it?
It's just shy of 300. It's actually $260,000.
Yeah, I mean, so that is so low for totally remodeled, and so many things to do in that community, low HOA costs, and it's, you know, you're 5 minutes from the mall, beach, and walking distance to all sorts of, you know, activities. It's you couldn't pick a better location than that.
No, absolutely. I mean, for the dollars and cents of this unit, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, you can't beat it in that area.
So Adam, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do so?
So if they want to get in touch with me, they contact me either by email at adam@echofineproperties.com, or they could give me a call at 561-631-0818.
And once Adam learns who you are, he picks out a bow tie that matches you. So there's always a surprise when you're working with bow tie Bendeson.
I try to get a feel for you, and I try to match your personality around my neck, as long as you choose not to use it as a noose.
Right. So if you're into butterflies, you may get a butterfly bow tie, or a golfer, there may be a golf bow tie, as long as there's not a noose.
If you're a dog family, I even have puppy bow ties.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam. Victoria, where are you at today? Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm at 117 Banyan in Ballin Isles. It's a wonderful home. It offers 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and it's on the golf course, which is great. It's actually on a par 3, and people are playing, let's see, from that direction up to the hole here. So you're not going to get golf balls, which is great. About the closest people will come to you is that bunker there. And you'll notice that the cart path is on the other side there. So you won't even have people parked behind the house, which people really like that sense of privacy. And it is very private. The home, these are original owners, and don't let that scare you, because they put in a lot of high-end things into the home when they built it. So you've got wonderful larger tiles set on the diagonal. It's got a very open concept in this home. This is the living room. Some people use this as a dining room and closed off the dining room as a den. You could do that too, depending on your lifestyle needs. Different view of the living room. And directly across, again, very open from that living room, is your dining area. And that's looking back towards the, let's see, over there, the front door. So it's nice open concept, super high ceilings, which everyone loves, and a very open, modern kitchen with extra tall cabinets, stainless appliances, gas cooking. Who doesn't love gas cooking, right? So you've got some decorative cabinets there with the glass fronts. This is looking back the other direction. Well, that's actually just looking longer view here. Great space in the kitchen. If you like to cook, it's fantastic space. It opens out looking over your family room, which is
even if you don't, if you're entertaining, it's just wide open. And this is, you know, in Florida especially, this is how we live. It's more of a lot of people are moving from up north, and it's a different lifestyle at this point, because you're not, you know, other than in a pandemic, you're not eating dinner at home all the time and stuff. So it's just an open and brings in all sorts of light.
Exactly, and this flows out to the pool area, and behind my head, there we go. You take in the view they ordered when they built the house, this extra oversized picture window. So you really are taking in the entire view, looking out over the golf course and your pool. Got a double pantry behind my head there too. So it's lots of light, which is what I think a lot of people really like. They like the openness, they like the light. And it sure has this, that's for sure. If you walk out onto the terrace there, it's got lots of covered space there. So they have a little table here, but there's room for an outdoor kitchen. There's room for a little sofa, living room area underneath that covered space, which is really great. Here again, the closer, different angle on the pool. And the pool actually looks a lot better now because since that picture was taken, they had it acid washed and it really looks bright and blue and beautiful. And it does have a spa as part of it as well. I'd actually be kind of standing in the spa if I were there now. And here again, looking out at that hole, we saw the aerial of it. There's that bunker there. And then the hole is right there, which is great. If we go back into the house, we wander off to the master bedroom. Let's see, oops, here we go. Which is very spacious with the tray ceiling, sliders out to the pool. And the master has, interestingly enough, it has 2 full baths. So this one is there, and there's one behind me, or the other, let's see, that direction. Yeah, there's one there too, but I'll show you that as well. The one over here has a door to the outside, so it doubles as a cabana bath, and very often it becomes his bath. So the big master bath is here, all done in marble. Again, many upgrades done when they built it. This is all beautiful, neutral marble. I think if you switched out the frame around the shower to a frameless, it would have a totally more modern look to it. But again, that's all that really I would really do to it. It's wonderful, it's neutral, it's spacious. It's got a separate water closet, an extra linen closet, and trying to see, well, there's 2 sinks.
And that's a jacuzzi tub too, isn't it?
Yeah, whirlpool tub, exactly. And then this is the other bath that's over, that doubles as a cabana bath. So it's got a shower and a nice vanity, and it's lovely. So if somebody wants their own space dedicated, they can have that if they want that, which is great. At the front of the house, as you came in, there are 2 bedrooms. They use this bedroom more as a den / office. You can kind of see the desk there, and which is what a lot of people do. They don't really need necessarily all bedrooms, but having a pull-out couch for when the extra grandkids come kind of works really well. It shares a very nice bath with a proper guest room that they have set up there with a real pretty window. Again, very light, very bright. There's it even, oh, by the way, this comes with a coveted full golf membership. See, in Banyan Isles, the memberships are tied to the homes. So if you want a full golf membership, you have to buy a home that has that membership, and this does have it. So for you golfers out there, you can get out there and have a great time golfing. Or, by the way, their tennis program is second to none. They just got an outstanding tennis program. And aside from that, their fitness facility is phenomenal. They just went through a $36 million renovation, finished it last year. So
you can see the tennis there. You can see the tennis courts. I put the video on.
Yeah, and there's the fitness facility. I mean, everything's new. It's wonderful. There are numerous restaurants to choose from to dine in. There are all kinds of clubs, from photography to book club. They have, I think, 7 card rooms for men and women that are separate, beautifully done. So if you're into cards, whatever your game is, they've got it there. I mean, you name it, this club has it. And this home, by the way, even comes with a golf cart, because you can have your own golf cart in Banyan Isles, and many, many people do. Even if you don't golf, they'll have their own golf cart just to get around. Why touch your car if you don't have to?
The clubs have been terrific, during this whole, thing, and just in terms of security, and there's great, medical assistance if anybody needed it, but, the restaurants that they have there, and the location of Bell and Isle is as good as you get. It's within a couple minutes each of 95 and the Turnpike off of PGA, and then it also has an entrance off of North Lake, and there's a third entrance, off of Military, Trail.
You're exactly
Bell and
right. And it's only about 12 minutes to the airport. So people want to come and go easily from, if this is a second home, it is so easy to come and go from the airport.
So let's go from there. I'm going to go to another house, and we're going to come back to Victoria. But if you do want to see this home, Victoria is at 561-531-4977, or Victoria at echofineproperties.com. And we're going to talk a little bit more with Victoria in just a bit. We have one more home to show you. So this is a listing that my dad has, and I'm going to take care of it for him. So we're going to go out right now to Trump National. Trump National used to be the Ritz-Carlton. And then, a few years, back, Ritz decided to leave this particular area. And then they went, and then Donald Trump ended up, purchasing it. And then that happened, about, I want to say, it must have been 4 years or so ago. So that's the, let me move out of the way for you here. I'll swivel way over on this side. That's the entrance sign over to Trump. And then in the club itself, that's there you can take a look at the clubhouse itself. You don't have to join if you don't want to, as well over at Trump. There's one of the dining, areas. They have a beautiful, spa and pool and fountains. And the club itself is located on, right off of Donald Ross Road in Jupiter. And it's, Donald Ross runs on one side, it's PGA Boulevard, and the other side, it's you're looking at Palm Beach Gardens. So let me get to the house itself here that we're at. Give me 1 second. So there you can see the aerial of 502 Bald Eagle. There's actually was the name of the Bald Eagle Street came from, there was when they were building it, there were some bald eagles that were there at the time, and that's where the name actually has a little bit of history. This is the largest lot in all of Trump National, and it's just surrounded by preserve and golf course and and everything. There's a whole side yard that's in here. So there's a lot of acreage that's in here. There's the pool that you can take a look at at night it's really gorgeous. There's a night shot of the front of the house. And let's go take a look at some of the inside in here. It's the style right now is whites and grays, and you're starting to see a lot of color come in. So they get a lot of cool types of colors in there. Beautiful uses of marble just everywhere. The faux in this house and the Venetian plaster is just to die for. Here's another shot this is right when you can see the entree when you first come in with those beautiful French, arched, windows and doors and soaring ceilings everywhere. This is just decked out to the nines. There's a dining room, which is, right off of the, the entree, crown molding everywhere, everywhere that you look in here. Incredible kitchen. Appliances are all Miele and Thermador, Bosch, all top of the line. That's in here, very open, and lots of uses of just different types of materials and beautiful styling, that's done. We're also downstairs here. Again, it's just a total open concept where there's different archways that open up and different windows. You're getting great light really everywhere that you look. Here's another angle. That's the master bedroom, which is just giant. There's 5 bedrooms altogether, 6.5 backs, big sitting area, gorgeous master bath, double vanities on both sides. That's back where we went a little bit downstairs. That's the entry for the front floor, and another entry, shots. You can see the dining room, off. The ceiling work in here is incredibly magnificent. The study is, they're just beautiful, with beautiful wood built-ins, crown molding. Floors are gorgeous with, real hardwood. There's another angle where you can really see the Venetian plaster, and you can see all the ceiling work and the windows and chandeliers it has. This is, there's 2 master suites in here, one down, one up. That's one of them. That's, that's downstairs. And that's 502, Eagle. You don't have to join the club if you don't, want to, but they pamper you there. This is a gated community within, Trump National, and, just really, really beautiful. If you want to take a look at it, you can give me a buzz at 561-346-8383 or Jeff at echofineproperties.com. And then we're going to go back over to, Victoria now. And Victoria, you've been in real estate for how many years altogether?
It's about 27 years now.
Yeah. So this was, your parents were in the business. And how was that like growing up, watching it from afar?
Well, actually, I swore I'd never become a realtor because my mother was never home. But I got divorced young and figured that it was the best use of my time to be able to be there for my kids and I knew the business growing up in it. And so when I joined my mother, initially, my father was just coming on board and we were just hiring other people, and we established one of the country's first ever teams. In fact, my mother was one of the first people to ever put her photo on a business card. It was considered kind of a no-no back then.
Right.
But we established the Lorraine Lender team. Right there is a picture of us. We're a few years into it. And we had a few agents and full-time admin help. My father, he didn't show houses too much. He more ran down to City Hall and got us field cards and did a lot of kind of back-end support there for us.
Did they get along in the business?
They sure did. They're night and day different personality, but they got along. Everybody got along great. We started off with another competing company before we went off to open the second Keller Williams office in Connecticut. And they are now up to about 375 agents and doing phenomenal. Very proud of them. But she had a great vision, and the company has grown tremendously. I was in business there in Connecticut for 15, 16 years, and helped establish the luxury division at Keller Williams before coming down here. My choice to come here, though, is interesting because living in Fairfield County, Greenwich, Connecticut is the Rodeo Drive of the Northeast. And you're used to a certain level of sophistication. I'm a boater, lifelong boater, and used to boating in Long Island Sound. Right now, they're playing some of the pictures we've taken off of our boat in the Intercoastal. Trying to find the right area that was kind of what I was used to, lifestyle-wise, restaurants, shopping, just all of it. Palm Beach County was a perfect fit. And that's how I ended up choosing Palm Beach County. It was a bit of a challenge starting off in real estate here. I thought it would be super easy, but we have so many gated communities. It was a little more challenging to learn all of them, which I have certainly done now. We have wonderful, wonderful communities to choose from, depending on the lifestyle that you're looking for, whether it's golf, tennis, boating, waterfront, whatever it is, we can find a good match for you. And very often I'll have people out. Sometimes we're just shopping community before we start shopping for a home, because it is so much about lifestyle. But it's a great place to live.
How did your experience in Connecticut help you, today?
Well, it's interesting. I started off, working the lower market like everybody else does. And I then had my repeat clients coming back to me wanting their next home or their next home and sending their other people. I learned really early about how strong, how important ethics are, and really being honest and working people, not about the sale, but taking care of people for what they want. Because this real estate investment for many people is their biggest purchase. At least in that market it was. In here, it's still very important, and a lot of times it's a second home, but it's still super important. And it's important that it feels good and that they feel happy and will want to bring their family and their friends and just enjoy it for whatever number of years there is. I think too many people think about a sale as a sale, and it's not. It's a lifestyle, it's a way of life, and it's their future. And that's what my concentration is.
What did you learn from your folks and from your past team concepts in Connecticut?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, working together and as a team is huge. And Jeff, you do that really well. You've taken it to an extreme level compared to where we're at. But if you look at corporations, normally corporations divide your jobs into specific channels. And they do that because you can be best at doing one or two things typically, right? Most realtors run around trying to be the best photographer, the best admin person, the best virtual whatever. You can't be the best at everything. And you've got it set up so that we've got our own full-time photographer. We've got our own social media specialist. We've got people to do what they do really well, which frees us up to do what we do well, which is work with people.
Where did you get your researching skills from? Because you're incredibly prepared, when you meet a client.
Well, that's probably from my mother. She had a very mathematical background. And so that's helped with preparing spreadsheets and looking at home values and comparing comps for buyers as to what should be priced where. So I would say I have to get a lot of that from her for sure. I have an advertising marketing background prior to getting into real estate, so that kind of piggies back onto it. And then at the other level would be negotiating skills. That my mother was extremely good at. In fact, the current home I lived in was there was 12 bids on it, and we increased our bid by 10 and added 100, and that's her idea. And we won the house because of $100.
Well, I think people come in there. Sometimes they're trying to get it at the very best price. Where sometimes in order to secure it, that's not the strategy. You also have, I think, from years of experience. People say, "Well, I have this amount of experience." You have good experience, and you bring a lot of good strategies. That's one of them. But just a lot of different things that you do, and there's so many parts to a transaction.
You're exactly right. There are a lot of parts of the transaction. And believe me, I've been with some people where I fired myself because they're too difficult to work with. Typically, though, there is a way to make everybody happy. And there's give and take, like in anything. But my goal is always to find the best property for the buyer or to get the highest price for my seller.
What you were talking about what makes a good buyer and what makes a good seller. There was we had a family friend who had a TV business called Apt, which is giant in Chicago for appliances, TVs, and they have a sign up there that says we will do our best to take care of any reasonable request, which always told me that a seller can't make unreasonable. How do you get people both on the buy side and the sell side, because emotions run high and everything? There's different types of into the right mindset. What makes somebody good on the buyer or sell side from a client perspective? How do you help shape people?
It's listening to people. You really have to step back and listen. Sometimes people just talk too much, and they talk themselves out of things or try to talk people into things that they don't want. You really have to listen, and I think that's super important. Excuse me. And I've had buyers say to me, "Wow, my other agent wasted my time and dragged me to all these things I wasn't interested in." Well, it's because they didn't listen. And whether you're working with buyers or sellers, whether they're difficult or whether they're easy, it's just tuning in.
What's the difference? And Rob, I'm going to put some pictures of East Point in because we'll talk about that in a minute too. But what is when somebody's coming from up north as a new purchaser, sometimes they want the world to fit the way what they'll say, like, well, this is how it's done in Connecticut. This is how it's done in New York. What are the biggest differences that someone who's moving here needs to learn quickly, so that they're doing, as they say in Rome, as the Romans?
I'm not quite sure.
Meaning, like, what are the difference in the contract? Sometimes you get somebody, they're coming, things were done differently, I assume, in Connecticut. Contracts were written up differently, or in New York, they have binders on contracts. What are the biggest differences you see of how real estate is practiced here versus up north?
Well, up north, we used attorneys. We did a 2-page binder to sew up a property. Then you did your inspection, and then you went to an attorney. And the buyer has an attorney, the seller has an attorney, and everybody kind of tries to massage it and get it through the contract, and then on you go. And that can be done very successfully. Well, in Florida, we do our own contracts here. It's a Florida bar contract written by the Bar Association in Florida. And I'll tell you, the first few contracts I wrote, my pen was shaking because the legality of it was now on me, I felt. But it really is a fill-in-the-blank contract, and it's subject to what we negotiate on those fill-in-the-blanks. You don't need an attorney here. We use title companies, and I love attorneys, but quite simply, it's much simpler because we are removing 2 egos out of a transaction. So it becomes much simpler, and people are really kind of amazed when we don't need an attorney. I happen to like using a title company that has an attorney on board. If we run into a problem or need interpretation on something, they're there for us, which is terrific. But title companies make it pretty easy and pretty smooth, and otherwise the process is pretty typical. You're 1% down to hold the contract, another 9% for a total of 10% until you close.
And a lot of it is, each contract's different. There's actually multiple contracts in Florida. There's an as-is contract, which gives the buyer a little bit more flexibility. And there's another contract where the buyer's more tied in, but they know certain things are going to get taken care of by the seller in the inspection process. And a lot of it will depend if it's a cash or a mortgage, and there's a lot of different variables. But an experienced realtor knows when there's a problem with a contract. And what I's are not are missed, or what T's are not crossed, and can tell you when you need an attorney if you do. And if you do everything right, you typically don't need you don't have problems later on, and your contracts are really smooth. They always have been in here. What can you tell us about East Point? We've got a few more minutes of time.
East Point, it happens to be where I live, which is a wonderful smaller community with 2 golf courses. It's just immediately west of 95, 9 minutes to the beach and 12 minutes to the airport. 2 Fazio golf courses, 6 tennis courts, country club, lifestyle. It's wonderful. It's very economical as far as memberships go. Lots of great people, from very wealthy to retired police chief and that sort of thing. So it's a nice mix of people. They're getting a new lifestyle center, which is going to have a 7,000 square foot gym and a 7,000 square foot everyday sports style restaurant with 2 pools. So everyone's very excited. We're looking forward to it.
I think East Point is one of the the hidden areas where the membership costs are so reasonable in there. It's just a great area to some people live there and just join as a social, use it for social facilities, and that's it. But there's the location is really good. It was one of the first clubs established in the area, and you're equidistant between gardens, and you hug Jupiter on the Donald Ross side.
We're very central to all the restaurants, which is
right.
There must be 100 restaurants within a 15.
It might be the best location of any clubs, And the golf course is excellent. I mean, you get, it's a, terrific golf course. People
It
play
is.
there from all the other clubs, as well, whenever they can get a chance to, to get invited. But Victoria knows all the clubs. She knows the gardens, Jupiter. She also has a boat. And if you're interested in looking on the water, she'll take you out.
Yes, we do intercoastal tours.
Yeah, you won't get a bow tie with like bow tie Bendeson, but you do get a boat.
Get starfish.
And a starfish. So we're going to wrap it up from there. If you want to get in touch with Victoria, it's 531-4977. Adam Bendeson's, it's 631-0818. So for myself, Jeff Lichtenstein, Victoria, Adam, Rob Moore, we're going to sign off. We'll be back at 1 o'clock with Jupiter Law Center, and then 2 o'clock with El Vagacito, and we've got a long day through. Go ahead, Rob.
A few comments while we were on. Just want to read. I like to read these because people are watching and they're commenting. So Claudia Turgis says, coming from Connecticut, I love all the light. Claudia, thank you for watching. And Mary Ellen Goldsmith Gusak, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name properly. She says, how do I get back to the last house? So the last house was the Jeff, the listing you had. That was the one in Bears, Trump National.
Yeah, call me. Well, a couple of things on the link in here. If you look in the comment section, I've posted links to Victoria, to Adam, to myself, and there's also links in there to each home that was represented today. And then there's also other links to whatever subdivision that they belong to or club. And then there's some other links on other information, so like if you want to set up a search or anything else in there, you can call me directly or text me or email me. I'm at jeff@echofineproperties.com, or you can text or email me at 561-346-8383. But the link is right there as well. So if you want to go take a look at it and go through all the pictures of it, you can.
Yep. So Mary Ellen, if you want to buy that house in Trump National, I'm sure Jeff would answer the phone. So give him a call.
She hasn't called yet, but so I'm waiting.
Mary Ellen, we're waiting on you. And we had a good turnout today. We had a lot of people watching. So I want to thank them for tuning with us every day for our open houses. And then as we go along throughout the day for our business interviews. So if you guys are not doing anything at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock today, I'll be here. Jeff will be here. And we'll be previewing some more local businesses, restaurants, pressure cleaner, dentists, or not dentist, sorry. Let me get that right. Orthodontist and a lawyer. So
these are some of the really strong local people in the area. Adam is terrific. Both Adam Bendeson and Adam Gumpson, who owns Jupiter Law Center, and my orthodontist. The El Fagacito is one of my favorite restaurants. That place has only been open like 2 years, but it's really authentic, the most really unusual food. You wouldn't even know it's there, but it's just a terrific restaurant. And we'll be doing them. And what's the last one we're doing today again, Rob?
It's a pressure cleaner. Renew pressure cleaning. Melody Crystal will be doing that one.
Terrific. Okay, so we'll see you in about 10-15 minutes.
Nice bow tie, Adam.
So long, everybody.